There is no doubt that the quality of the person asking the questions went up, but I'm getting a lot of bad feedback. That fiery blonde reporter Megyn Kelly used to run Fox News. Her life has had a lot of exciting highs and interesting lows. She was known for how quickly she could think and how strong her will was, both in court and on TV. I didn't worry about any of the other players on the field. If I can do the best job I can, I just thought. But behind her smug TV persona, she had to deal with some tough problems and unexpected changes. These are Kelly's deepest secrets, which have been made public since she talked about her mistakes and media tricks. What secrets has this brave reporter kept from us all these years? How will these shocking new facts change the way we think about Megyn Kelly? Come with us as we reveal the secrets of Megyn Kelly's personal life, including her relationships and personal life. When Megyn Kelly isn't on TV, her real life is full of love, loss, and strength. The news about her relationships and family life let us see who she really is. Kelly got married for the first time to surgeon Daniel Kendall in 2001. She has a strong faith, which showed in their Catholic wedding. But because of their busy jobs and other problems, they split up in 2004. Kelly said she was going through the process of getting her marriage annulled by the Catholic Church. This shows how important her religious views are to her still. In 2008, love found Kelly again. This time it was in Douglas Brunt, who was the president and CEO of Authentium at the time. When she married Douglas Brunt, new chapters began, and she grew as a person and in her career. A short time after they got married, Douglas Brunt quit his job to write full-time. His friendship with Megyn Kelly has gotten stronger since then. People paid more attention to each other, helped each other reach their goals, and were there for each other through the good and bad times of public life. They have 3 kids together, born in 2009, 2011, and 2013. But it wasn't easy to become a parent. She used IVF to have all 3 of her children. Kelly has always been open about her pregnancy problems. By doing this, she gives other women who are going through the same thing a voice. This is something that the Kelly Brunt family does between their 2 homes. Their kids go to school in Connecticut during the school year, so they live there. They take a break from their busy public lives every summer by going to their quiet home on the water in New Jersey. Sister Suzanne Crossley died of a heart attack in 2022, and Megyn Kelly lost her. Suzanne had a hard time with addiction while she was alive, which made her death even more painful. She left behind 3 children and a grandson. Kelly has a big family. From her mom's second marriage to Peter Kirwan, she has step-siblings, a sister, and a brother. As was already said, she is also a very religious Catholic. She talks a lot about her faith. She says it has helped her get through hard times in her personal and public life by giving her strength and direction. As people paid more attention to her personal life, she had health problems that came up out of the blue, which made things even more difficult. But then there was a moment with a vaccine that caused a huge argument. Is this the point where her story takes a strange turn? Let's find out. Vaccines and worries about health. We can see into Megyn Kelly's life by reading about her health problems and medicines. A lot of Americans went through the same thing in her story during the COVID-19 outbreak. Kelly was already taking care of Raynaud's disease, a condition that makes it hard for blood to flow to her toes and fingers. Before the pandemic, her health was taken care of, and she kept her job. It took her a while to decide to get the COVID-19 vaccine when it came out in 2020, but she did in the end. She made the choice she did because she wanted to protect her family, felt pressure from other people, and hoped that things would get back to normal. Things went in a strange direction for Kelly with the vaccine. She was honest on her show about getting an inflammatory disease soon after getting her booster shot. Being sick changed how she felt about the vaccine and health lessons in general. A lot of people who watched felt connected with Kelly's openness about her health problems. She has also talked about the health problems other people had after getting vaccinations. This has caused people to talk about the bad effects of vaccines and the need for better news coverage of these kinds of problems. It had been only 3 weeks since Kelly's booster shot, so she wondered if there was a link between the shot and her symptoms. Dr. Smith thinks it's just a chance anyway. Kelly has been talking about her experiences with vaccines. She wants more open conversations about possible side effects and long-term effects. She says that honest conversations are important for keeping people's trust in health groups. Fox News' history and problems. Megyn Kelly's time at Fox News was like going on a wild ride. It was exciting, powerful, and sometimes sad. In 2004, she was a new law analyst. By 2017, she was one of the most famous news anchors in the United States. Kelly first got her start by talking about law on shows like Special Report with Brit Hume. But quickly, her sharp mind and bravery made her stand out. She was given her own show, Kelly's Court, and started filling in for top hosts. The big chance she got in 2010 was to host her own 2-hour afternoon show, Live in America. People liked her because she was honest and asked tough questions. Over 1 million people watched the show every day, which means it got a lot more viewers. Kelly became famous on election night in 2012. Right-wing advisor Karl Rove didn't believe Fox when they said that Barack Obama had won Ohio, and Kelly didn't back down. She went up to Rove and famously asked if his worries were just the kind of Republican math that you do to feel better. This exciting live TV event made news all over the world. Kelly's rising fame opened the door to an even bigger chance. In 2013, she took over the well-known 9 p.m. time with her show, The Kelly File. The show did very well, and sometimes even did better than Bill O'Reilly's long-running #1 show. But fame also brought trouble. Kelly made a big deal in 2013 when she said on air that Jesus and Santa Claus were white. While some people said she was racist, others said she was just being honest. This event showed how Kelly's words could cause big arguments all over the country. But the most exciting part was still to come. During the 2016 Republican presidential debate, Kelly asked Donald Trump about the times he had made sexual comments about women in the past. Trump didn't like that she asked her tough questions, so he attacked her on social media, and a lot of his fans did too. As a writer, Kelly didn't want to say sorry, so she stood her ground and wouldn't. It was clear from this fight with Trump how tough Kelly's job was at Fox. There were people on her team who supported her and people who seemed to support Trump. It showed how hard it was for Kelly to be a strong writer on a network that is often seen as a con. Despite all the drama, or maybe because of it, Kelly's career kept going strong. She got big interviews, like one with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and even her own Fox special in the evening, where she talked to leaders and celebrities. By the end of 2016, people were talking about how Kelly might be leaving Fox. The network that made her famous now seemed too small for her big plans. Kelly said she was going to NBC News in January 2017, with an annual deal worth $15 to $20 million. Kelly got into even more trouble after she left Fox. But think about something bigger. Was she in charge of the media, or was she just a small part of a bigger plan? Influence and lies from the media. Because Megyn Kelly has worked in the media, she has a unique perspective on how facts can change people's minds and how harmful lies can be. She was in the news and criticized it, so she knew firsthand how the media can change big events. Kelly worked at Fox News, where the news came out all the time. She saw how big stories could get people across the country's attention and how everyday news could change people's political views. This taught her how important and hard it is to report the news while also trying to change things. Kelly got to see the media from different points of view when she went to NBC and then worked on her own projects. She began to talk about the problems with echo chambers and how news sources can become biased. Kelly said that a lot of people were stuck in their own opinions and were only hearing points of view that agreed with them. More than ever, Kelly has talked about how social media spreads false information on her show and in public. She says that fake news can spread quickly on sites like Twitter and Facebook, making it hard for the real news to catch up. People need to think more deeply about the news they read, and social media companies need to take more responsibility. While COVID-19 was going around, Kelly talked about how people lost trust in health experts and the media because they sent confused and conflicting messages. Her own problems with side effects from vaccines made her wonder if important facts were being hidden to get more people to get vaccinated. Kelly has also looked at how the news about wars can change how people feel about them. She has talked about how biased news stories and emotional language can make people support or oppose military operations. She also talks about her views on domestic politics, where she often points out biased reporting from both left and conservative sources as part of her focus on media spin and bias. Megyn Kelly has become a media critic over the past few years, using her fame to call out what she sees as bad news. She has been very mean to reporters who let their personal beliefs affect how they cover news. This is something she calls activist journalism. She is both a supporter of fair news and a controversial figure in the world of media because of the way she does things. Her experiences have made her want to help teach people how to use media properly. Kelly thinks that people need to learn how to judge news sources and spot lies more than ever because there is so much information out there. That fits with the fight against fake news and misleading political and social views. People are often more interested in Megyn Kelly's politics and social views than in her work. Kelly doesn't fit nicely into one political group, even though she worked at Fox News for years. She is proud to say that she is an independent person. She said she's voted for both Democrats and Republicans. Because she stands on her own, she is an interesting and sometimes controversial figure in American politics. Kennedy tends to agree with liberal views on some topics. She has pushed for the legalization of drugs, saying that the war on drugs hasn't worked and that we need a new approach. She also wants to let in more legal immigrants because she thinks that America is strong when it can bring in bright people from all over the world. But Kelly's ideas are hard to put into a box. She is worried about the influx of Muslims into Europe, which has led to conversations about how cultures mix and the problems that can arise. Megyn Kelly has also said some strange things about gun control. After the terrible killing at Parkland High School in 2018, she spoke out against the National Rifle Association (NRA) for having too much power, which was seen as a conservative move. She also said that lawmakers weren't doing enough to change gun rules. Kelly has changed her mind about some social problems over time. She talked about why she no longer supports the use of chosen pronouns in June 2022. She used to support it, but now she thinks they spread harmful ideas about gender. This change brings up ongoing arguments about how people identify their gender. Kelly has become more interested in LGBTQ issues over the past few years. She has spoken out about her worries about transgender athletes in women's sports and has called into question care for children that affirms their gender. Many people are upset about what Megyn Kelly said about race. She made headlines in 2013 when she said that Santa Claus is white. This caused a lot of talk about how holidays are portrayed. She has been talking about critical race theory in schools more lately, and she often questions efforts to use it to fight racism. Kelly says she is just being honest when she questions what most people think is true. Her words have been heard at Moms for Liberty and other conservative events, but she still says she has no political ideas or ties to any party. It's important for democracy that people can freely speak their minds, and Kelly often says this: fans and enemies alike are kept guessing by how she changes her mind about many things. TV station and departure on NBC. The big break for Megyn Kelly was meant to be when she moved to NBC in 2017. She got a huge deal from the network's $69 million over 3 years. A daytime talk show, a Sunday night news show, and the chance to cover big political events were some of the things they offered her. Kelly got off to a great start at NBC when she interviewed Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, on her Sunday night show. A lot of people were interested in how she would do when she wasn't on Fox News. People had different responses to the interview, but it did get a lot of attention. Even with all the buzz, Kelly's Sunday show had a hard time taking off. It was put on hold by NBC after only 8 shows. It didn't come back often, it only did so for special stories now and then. The big test came with her daily morning show, Megyn Kelly Today. Kelly tried to alter her look so that she would seem friendlier and more relevant to people who watched during the day. She danced badly in front of the camera, played games with the guests, and tried to be more real. But not many people believed it. Many people thought it was weird that she went from being a tough reporter to a happy morning show. It didn't feel right. Things weren't going well behind the scenes either. There were rumors that Kelly and NBC bosses had different ideas about how her shows should go. There were some people at work who thought she had been given too much too soon. Even more stress was added when Megyn Kelly's scores today were lower than expected. Then, in October 2018, everything went wrong. Kelly said it was okay to wear blackface as a child, as long as you were dressing up as a character when they were talking about Halloween outfits. The response was quick and strong, and it didn't take long for her to leave NBC. Even though Kelly said she was sorry on radio and in an email to her coworkers, the damage had already been done. Today, just a few days later, NBC canceled Megyn Kelly's show. It was brought up that she might leave, and she did. She got the full $69 million from her deal. Following her time at NBC was a huge event. Her image was hurt, and many people wondered if she would ever be able to get it back. Some people thought that her success on Fox News wouldn't work well with a bigger audience. Some people thought that NBC had set her up to fail by expecting too much from her. A lot of people thought Megyn Kelly's career was over after her sudden departure from NBC. On the other hand, the tough reporter had other plans. How was she going to get back into the media world that didn't seem to remember her? After network TV deals. In 2019, Megyn Kelly left NBC and found herself in a new place. It was months before she was in the news again. A big change for someone who was on national TV all the time. Kelly wasn't ready to leave, though. She came back strong in September 2020 with a new business, Devil May Care Media, her own media company. She was now the boss and could make her own choices, which was a big change in her career. One of the big things her new business did was make a podcast called The Megyn Kelly Show, which came out on September 28, 2020. Kelly wasn't limited by TV networks, so she could look into anything that interested her, from politics and current events to pop culture and her own life. Kelly's podcast became very famous very quickly. People were interested in her because of her well-known name and controversial past, and her strong conversation style kept them coming back. People got to see a different side of Kelly on the show, which had both tough questions and more casual chats. When she signed a deal with SiriusXM to air her show on their Triumph channel in July 2021, it reached even more people. That meant more people across the country could listen, and fans could also watch her videos as part of the deal. That was not all Kelly did, though. She shocked everyone in November 2023 when she said she was going to start acting. She said that she would be in an animated humor show for the Daily Wire called Mr. Bircham with Danny Trejo, Roseanne Barr, and Adam Carolla. It was clear that Kelly wasn't afraid to try something new and leave her comfort zone when she did this. Kelly's work has still been full of problems since she left NBC. She's been in the news for having strong views on transgender rights, race, and other issues, which have led to heated arguments. It's clear that she still knows how to get people to talk. Back to her roots she went in December 2023. Her work as co-host of the 4th Republican primary discussion on News Nation proved that she is still a strong political figure. It was clear from this showing that she is still very important in political reporting, even though she doesn't work for major networks anymore. She has also been very active on social media. She shares her thoughts, promotes her work, and talks to her fans directly on sites like Twitter. In places other than standard media, this has helped her build a strong fan base. Kelly has shown that she is flexible and driven by the work she has done since leaving NBC. She has tried acting, new technologies, and different forms. She doesn't have as many fans as she used to, but she's found her place in the media world as it changes, getting known and being portrayed in pop culture. People paid attention to Megyn Kelly's rise from lawyer to TV star. She got a lot of attention, both good and bad, as her fame grew. Child Help, a group that works to stop child abuse, gave Kelly an award in 2009. They told her how great it was that she brought this important problem to people's attention at Fox News. This award proved Kelly's influence was bigger than politics. Albany Law School, where she went to school for law, gave her an Alumni Achievement Award at her 15th class reunion the next year. Today, she is a well-known public person, having come a long way from her days as a law student. Megyn Kelly became very famous in 2014. She was named one of the 100 most important people in the world by Time magazine. On this elite list, she was among world leaders and famous people, showing that her voice was heard beyond Fox News. Her hometown also paid tribute to her. She was inducted into the Bethlehem Central High School Hall of Fame in 2015. This was a special award for how far she had come from being a student in the area to becoming a national star. Kelly's influence on pop culture grew as she became more well-known. She was no longer just a news reporter. She became well-known. Late-night artists pretended to be her, and her name was used in movies and TV shows. Megyn Kelly had a big moment in 2019 when the movie Bombshell came out. The movie was about the story of inappropriate treatment at Fox News, and Kelly was a main figure. Charlize Theron, who won an Oscar, played Kelly, and she even got makeup to make her look like Kelly. Theron was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress because of how well she played the part, and brought up old arguments about her time at Fox and how she helped show the problems at the network. It's interesting that Kelly didn't help make the movie. After the movie, she talked with other women from it, like Juliette Huddy and Rudy Bakhtiar, who used to work at Fox News. Kelly said that some parts of the movie were true and some were not. The whole thing made her feel sad. A lot of people talked about Megyn Kelly after Bombshell came out. Her name became known to people who had never seen her on TV before, and they learned about her part in the Fox News fraud. Because of the movie, she became a major figure in larger discussions about sexual harassment at work and women in media. The movie showed that people have different thoughts and feelings about Kelly. People have different opinions about her. Some see her as brave because she stood up to strong men, while others see her as controversial because she had a murky past. Bombshell didn't try to hide these differences. It showed Kelly's job at Fox News in a fair way. It's clear that Megyn Kelly has had an impact on American society through her award wins and movie roles. One of the most important movies ever made was based on her life. No matter what your opinion is on Megyn Kelly, she has changed American society and media for good. A job as a lawyer and a move into journalism. Kelly has been in the news not all the time. Megyn Kelly dropped out of law school and went straight into the busy world of business law. Her first job was at Bickel and Brewer LLP's office in Chicago. Kelly began her work as a junior lawyer, where she learned a lot about the law. Kelly became well known very quickly thanks to her smarts and hard work. She co-wrote an article for the American Bar Association's top magazine, Litigation, in the fall of 1996, after only a year on the job. She knew a lot about tough legal issues because of the piece called The Conflicting Roles of Lawyer as Director. But Jones Day, a big law company, is where Kelly really made her name. She worked hard on difficult business law cases for 9 years. A big company that checks people's credit was one of her big clients. It was hard for Kelly to deal with issues like consumer privacy and data protection, but she learned skills that would help her in her future job. Kelly did well in law school, but she felt like something was still missing. Her long hours as a lawyer made her want a new task. Kelly made a big change when she moved to Washington, D.C. in 2003. There, she found a new way to live her life. She got a job as a reporter at WJLA-TV, an ABC station in her area. She was very good at law, which helped her a lot when she was writing about big stories that involved both law and politics. She wrote about important events like the hearings to confirm Samuel Alito and John G. Roberts as Supreme Court justices. Kelly's stories about the retirement of Justice Sandra Day O'Connor and the death of Chief Justice William Rehnquist showed how well she could explain complicated legal issues to regular people. She was also very good at writing about politics when she worked on the 2004 presidential race. People in the business began to notice Kelly as she got better at being on camera. Later, Jonathan Klein, president of CNN, said he felt bad that he didn't hire Kelly when she first started working as a reporter. He said she had the one skill you'd want to get from someone else. However, Kelly's big break came from Fox News. They took a chance on her and hired her in 2004. Fox executives saw her promise right away and put her in charge of legal segments on several shows. Kelly went from being a lawyer to a reporter, which was more than just a job change. She stood out on screen because she knew a lot about the law, was charming, and could think quickly. She could talk about a Supreme Court ruling 1 minute and then get into a debate with political experts the next. Kelly's fame at Fox News rose, and soon she would be one of the most recognizable faces in American media. The woman who used to want to be a judge was now ready to talk about big problems on TV for millions of people. Kelly wasn't well known for being tough before she became popular in the media. Not many people knew this about her. But what happened to her early on that made her first thoughts what they were? Early life in school. From a girl from a small town to a media star, Megyn Kelly's story began in the middle of America. She was born on November 1st, 1970, and grew up in Champaign, Illinois. Being an American kid meant that she spent a lot of time with family, going to school, and trying her best. Megyn's family was the most important thing in her life when she was young. Ed, her dad, was a smart teacher at the State University of New York at Albany, and Linda, her mom, worked hard to make their home a loving place to be. Megyn's family put a lot of value on schooling and hard work. She grew up with her older sister Suzanne and her brother Pete. Easy. Megyn's father died right away of a heart attack when she was only 15. Megyn felt terrible when she lost her father, and it made her want to do well and make him happy. Megyn kept going even when things were hard. It was a new start when her family moved to Del Mar, a small town close to Albany. Megyn began to show how smart and driven she was at Bethlehem Central High School. She worked hard at school and set herself up for future success. Megyn went to Syracuse University after high school. She went to the well-known Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs and decided to study politics right away. She got better at analyzing things and learned a lot about the things that make society what it is. Megyn wasn't done yet, though. She went to Albany Law School for law school after getting her bachelor's degree. That's where her skills really shone. She learned a lot about complicated legal ideas, got really good at debate, and got her law degree in 1995. Megyn learned more than just what she did in school. Her Italian, German, and Irish backgrounds gave her a unique view of life in the United States. As a child in a Catholic family, she learned strong values that would help her throughout her work. Megyn became strong and determined during these early years. She learned to think quickly, have a smart mind, and work hard while she was at Syracuse and Albany. The girl from Illinois had grown up and was now a woman ready to take on big tasks. She knew a lot and was driven to do well. She went from living in a small town to being in the national news because of the skills she learned in school. Her early life and education prepared her for a job that interests a lot of people and opens up a lot of debate. The lessons she learned as a child have kept her steady through all of public life's ups and downs. Thanks for seeing. Please like, review, and subscribe if you like this video. Plus, don't forget to look out for more great videos. The movie you're looking at now is an interesting one. Click on it to see another one.